One Monday morning at the age of 19, Anna Knight entered school for the first time in her life. She slid into her desk, never taking her eyes off the teacher or the blackboard the entire morning.
Sonia and
During the
Yvonne
lunch
read
break,
on
the
and
teacher
on.
spoke to her.
They could
Kristen
hardly
wants to see
believe
you in
that
his
this
office
story
as soon as
happened in the
possible.
very place where they live, Soso, Mississippi, that it is a part of the heritage of their church.
Pastor Dudley, it's a privilege for the Hall of Faith to present this commemorative plaque to be hung in the hometown church of Anna Knight in Soso, Mississippi.
This plaque reads, Distinguished Service Award, Anna Knight, 1874 through 1972. Self-educated Mississippi girl who graduated from Battle Creek College, Michigan, received the Medallion of Merit Award for contribution to Seventh-day Adventist education. She was an educator, a nurse, missionary, Bible worker, and author.
Anna was born in the deep South. It was only a few years after the Civil War had abolished slavery. In those days, black people worked in the cotton fields as sharecroppers. Life was hard. There was always work for everyone. Even the small children had to work. Anna was little more than a toddler when it became her job to carry water in a little tin bucket to fill a big wooden bucket that sat beside their hewn log cabin. The family was poor. So poor Anna seldom got enough to eat. In the summertime, she would go out to the fields and eat seeds from the grass, and wander off under the kudzu in search of wild berries, wild grapes, or nuts. When she was old enough, she worked in the garden, hoeing and chopping weeds. Day after day, she picked cotton in the hot sun. When she wasn't in the field, she helped the men and boys cut trees and hew logs. After harvest, she helped her mother take the corn 6 miles to the nearest grist mill. Their meals were simple, always corn pone made from cornmeal, salt, and water. They could not afford flour to make biscuits or bread. One day, Anna looked into the clouds. She looked beyond the fields of work, beyond the gnawing pains of hunger. She sensed that somewhere there was more. She watched as the neighbor children made their way through the fields to a place they called school. She could not go. There was no thought that black children needed to learn to read and write. But Anna had other ideas. On Sundays, she visited the neighbors so she could see the girls' books. She would offer to do their chores if they would teach her how to read. One day, they gave her an old blueback Webster speller and a McGuffey reader. Oh, how she treasured those books. In sun-baked dirt, Anna carefully formed the ABCs. From her reader, she sounded out the words one by one. She nailed boards together, painted them with wet soot, and improvised a blackboard so she could teach her cousins what she was learning. Anna was helping her mother in the house when a magazine salesman came to the doorway. Her mother had only $1, but Anna begged her to give it to the man. When the agent left, Anna was given a severe scolding. Every month, the magazines came. Anna responded to an announcement for some free reading material. Soon, whenever anyone went for mail, there were books and magazines and papers for Anna. Anna slipped away from her family and hid in places where she wouldn't be seen. She read. She read those wild, exciting storybooks and novels. Life, she thought, was getting interesting. But there was one magazine that was different. It came regularly from California. Whoever was sending it marked some of the articles. Anna began to change her interests. Alone in the woods, she read the articles that told about things in the Bible. Her uncle promised her a Bible if she would pick 200 pounds of cotton for him. Night after night, she read her precious Bible. One day, she told her family she was going to be baptized. Her mother became angry, but Anna had already written to the Signs of the Times office, and a pastor in Tennessee had written her. The nearest Seventh-day Adventist church was 382 miles away. Anna sold her half a bale of cotton to get money for a train ticket, then persuaded a brother to take her by wagon to the nearest railroad station that was 18 miles from their home. It was a long trip for a girl who had never been away from home. At Chattanooga, the pastor and his wife met her and took her on to the church and school at Graysville, Tennessee. There, Anna was baptized at the age of 18. Back home, she was ridiculed. One Sabbath, her mother commanded her to go out and plow cotton. Anna was torn between the fourth and fifth commandments. The tension worsened. She began spending Sabbath out in the woods alone with her Bible and the few papers she had brought back with her from Graysville. This irritated her mother. Finally, Anna was told to leave home if she could not give up her foolish beliefs. Anna packed her few scant belongings into a wooden box, scrounged together the money for a ticket, and went back to the pastor's home in Chattanooga, where she was welcomed. With the help of the pastor and his wife, she enrolled in the academy at Mount Vernon, Ohio. With no educational background, the classwork was very difficult, but Anna never gave up. From Mount Vernon, she went on to take nurse's training at Battle Creek, Michigan. By working 10 hours a day in the laundry, she paid her tuition and cared for her personal needs. Anna was known by her classmates as a friendly, hard-working girl, always willing to do anything to help them. As graduation time neared, Anna had one goal in mind. She wanted to fulfill a dream she could not erase from her mind: to go back to Soso, Mississippi, and start a school for her people. When the director at the school at Battle Creek learned about this, he encouraged her, told her it was an honorable ambition. Anna wrote home, told them she was coming. Her brother met her at the train station and assured her that everyone was happy to have her back. In a little log cabin on her uncle's farm, she set up some log benches and started a school. It was so successful she raised money by writing to friends, and she built a new school. But after 2 years, she felt an urge to become a missionary. India was calling. She told the General Conference, "If you will send someone to carry on my work in Mississippi, I'll go to India and stay until the Lord comes." Anna Knight became the first black Seventh-day Adventist overseas missionary. India, with its hundreds of millions of people, its strange customs and religious rites. It was all so different, so difficult to comprehend. For 6 years she worked, never giving up, often risking her life, doing whatever seemed most important: teaching or caring for the sick, going out into the villages to sell books or to give Bible studies, always with complete trust in God. During this time in India, Anna got word that the couple who had gone to teach at Soso, Mississippi, had to leave. The school she had struggled so hard to build had been burned to the ground. One day, a letter came from a little girl. She read, "Why don't you come back and teach us?" So when furlough time came, Anna returned to her home in Mississippi.
This congregation bears the heritage of a woman who refused to let go. The Ten Commandments hang on the front wall of the So-So Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I would imagine the reason they are repeated every Sabbath is because it was a custom of Anna's. Like the old beloved hymns she taught her people.
After Anna reestablished the school and church at her hometown, she went on to new challenges. She was called by the church to do Bible work in Atlanta, Georgia. During those years, she organized the YWCA for black women. Then, for 27 years, she served as director of 4 major departments of the church for all of the southeastern states. She founded and became lifetime president of the National Black Teachers Association.
Anna was always a strong promoter of Christian education. She loved to tell the story of how her beloved Oakwood College got started, how the old farm was selected, and how people all over North America sacrificed, sometimes going without meals, to give the money to Oakwood. At the age of 98, Anna was awarded her crowning honor, the Medallion of Merit Award, the highest honor that can be given to an individual in the field of education by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. At the time she was honored, she was only the 13th person in 99 years to receive this recognition. Anna Knight carved her name forever in the hearts of all whose lives touched hers.